Welcome, everybody. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. Here we are in the Psychology of Eating podcast, and I'm with Mardine today. Welcome, Mardine.
Hello, it's so good to be here with you.
I'm glad we're doing this. Where are you geographically?
Santa Cruz, California.
Oh, what a lovely place.
It really is.
I have been there so many times over the years, and as a young man, I grew up in New York, and I so wanted to go to college at University of Santa Cruz. Don't ask me how I picked that place out.
Ah,
And it didn't end up happening. My family wanted me close by, but ever since I visited there so many times and just absolutely love it.
yeah, I grew up in LA and moved to Santa Cruz in 1988. So once we landed here and made our community and found the home of our dreams, it really is the only place that's felt like home to me. And I love Santa Cruz.
Good for you. So you all know how this works. So this is our first time meeting, and we're going to have a session together. And the idea is we look to move you forward and make a difference for you. So if you could wave your magic wand and you can get whatever you want with food and body, what would that be for you, Mardine?
If I had a magic wand, I would just magically have my 25-year-old body back.
Mm, me too.
Yeah. For all I mean, mainly that my metabolism was just so smooth and high, and everything, I felt really healthy and energetic, and I weighed 125 pounds, and I didn't have to really think about it. It just, I ate what I wanted to eat, and it didn't seem to matter.
Mm.
So that, yeah, if I could have a magic wand, that's what I would do.
Okay, so, and the reason why you would want to do that, obviously you'd feel good, you'd be 25 years old again. And does that have anything to do with where your weight would be at?
Yes, it does. It was also before I had my first child. And I think that is kind of the focus of my thoughts recently. I've done a lot of things to change my lifestyle, my diet, and I've had success returning to the weight that I would like to be. But I think there's something connected to pregnancy and childbirth and all of that I just need to undo the threads and figure out what's holding me back.
So how much weight do you want to lose?
I would ideally like to be about 130 pounds, and I'm currently about 157.
So you want to lose about 25, 26, 27 pounds.
Yeah.
And you said you've had success getting there. When was the last time you were at your ideal dream weight?
Well, I adjusted my expectations somewhat, and was happy getting to 150, which was my weight before I got pregnant.
Mhm.
So that's kind of, that was comfortable, and I felt healthy and energetic and light enough at 150. So I was at 150 right before Thanksgiving.
So what you're saying is even if you lost 7 pounds, that would make a difference for you.
Yes, it would.
Okay. And how old are you now?
60.
60. And so, and when was your last pregnancy?
I've only had one, and he was born in 1995.
Got it. So what makes you think that your weight these days is connected to the pregnancy?
Well, I okay, so when I got pregnant, I was about 150, and I expected that I would gain 50 to 60 pounds probably, during pregnancy. My weight right before he was born, actually just over 200 pounds. So I got up to about 203. And I was, okay with that because obviously that's what my body needed, to bring a healthy pregnancy to term. And after he was born, I went right back down to around 155. And, I felt, okay, great. I'm doing good. But things changed. My body changed, my metabolism changed. And probably because I was breastfeeding, I was also really hungry. So I ate a lot, and I ended up over the following, it's been 27 years. So I got to as high as 192 pounds at one point. It was probably about 10 years ago that I was that heavy. And it was actually listening to one of your podcasts. I don't remember which one it was, but the person, that was talking about it just said something that made me think that I was putting on this weight because I wasn't done being pregnant. I wanted to be pregnant again. And so that was kind of my body's way of pretending to be pregnant, putting on the weight. And there's other things attached to that, feeling attractive, feeling desirable, putting barriers in the way of connection with other people. It's a very complicated thing, and part of it has to do with I developed in the 10 years after my son was born. I developed a very large fibroid tumor and ended up having to have a hysterectomy. And the thing that I realized is that tumor was also my body's attempt to recreate another pregnancy. That, was a physical manifestation of that desire to have another child. And that goes way back to when I was a teenager, and I always thought I would have two children. I had dreams about a boy and a girl. And when my son was born, my husband and I talked about it and realized really one is enough. We were happy, we had a healthy child. We couldn't really afford another child. We didn't have a house big enough for another child. And we didn't really want to complicate our lives any further, and so we talked about it and we decided we're only going to have one. But my soul, my plan for my life never really accepted that. And I wanted to have a daughter, and I couldn't. So now once I had the hysterectomy, it's like, well, there's no way. Obviously I don't have the ability to have another child. But I never really dealt with all of that. I never really looked inward and realized all of that until I sort of had a revelation about it while listening to one of your podcasts.
So it's been a while that you've been, so it's been about 27 years that you've wanted to lose weight. And you've been up and down in that time. And I'm just kind of summarizing a little bit.
Sure.
And so 27-ish years dieting, up and down. And yeah, you have your ideal target weight, which is what you were when you were 25. And at some point you relax those expectations and realize, wow, even at 150, which is only a 7-pound less weight loss than you are right now.
Yep.
You feel good, you feel healthy, and you're noticing that you believe there's a connection with wanting to be pregnant and wanting a second child, particularly a girl.
Mhm.
And maybe the weight and the tumor was connected to that.
Mhm.
And there's also your feeling of wanting to feel like you're attractive and desirable. That's
Mhm.
a piece of the puzzle. So let's just, in no particular order, I just want to break a few things down,
Sure.
so I can understand better. So you're still with your husband.
Mhm.
How does he feel about your weight?
He never talks about it, never brings it up, doesn't, complain about anything. He's not particularly diet conscious. He likes what he likes, he eats what he wants to eat, and doesn't really worry about it. And he's, perfectly happy with the way I am right now.
So the piece about you feeling attractive and desirable sounds like, in terms of your relationship with your primary person, that's more about how you feel about you than how he feels about you.
Yes, I think so. I, there were times when I was at my heaviest, and up around 190 pounds, that we talked about it then. And, we were like, this is not healthy to be this heavy.
Mhm.
And I didn't know how to change it. I never really did follow diets, fad diets and stuff. Probably the only thing that I've done in that realm is my husband actually found a book called Fit for Life
Mhm.
that talks about combining protein and starches, and timing your eating for your cycles, your uh, higher metabolism, lower metabolism periods during the day, and not combining things incorrectly. The way that they digest
Sure, sure.
doesn't work well. And when we did that, we read the book and we followed the guidelines. It's not really a diet, it's more of an eating method. We both lost about 10 or 15 pounds and felt the healthiest we'd ever been. But that was before we got married. So that was back when I was 25. That's why I weighed 125 pounds then. And since then, when I was, heavier than I wanted to be, I tried counting calories. I tried, increasing my exercise, but I never really followed any of the, Atkins diet or
Sure.
grapefruit diet or any of that kind of stuff.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say if we can wave our magic wand today and put you at 140 pounds or 145 even.
Yeah.
Okay, then what happens? Then who you're going to be? Tell me how life is going to be different for you when you feel you're at a weight that you want to be at. What's going to change?
I will feel more comfortable wearing a nice clingy dress, going out in public and wearing a bathing suit and going to the beach, just not looking down at myself and going, I wish I didn't have this roll of fat on my belly, that it's a body image thing, that I would rather have just a trim, fit body. And it's not so much the weight as the body tone and energy level and the way that I feel when I'm lighter.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to like your body better. You're going to feel more confident,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you one other question that might seem unrelated. It's, you've mentioned I'll call it a regret of not having that sort of vision for yourself, that dream come true of having 2 children, boy and a girl. If you had another regret in life that was high up on the list, does any come to mind?
Yeah, probably that I didn't really pursue the plan that I had for being a professional artist, for, exhibiting in galleries and just really focusing on my art rather than getting a job and, starting a career. Although the career that I have is a good one and I've been doing it for 40 years and it's perfectly fine. But if I had focused my energy when I got out of college on becoming an artist, that is where I would be right now. I went with my plan B. So that's probably, yeah, that's my other regret.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. So let me give you a few initial thoughts that are swimming in my head right now, and we'll see if they're useful and helpful for you. It's getting older is not easy because we don't have the body that we had when we were 20 or 30 or 40, or even at this point for you, 50. I understand what that's like. And it's a journey. And I think part of watching the body change, I've worked with so many women over the years who wanted to have a family and wanted to get pregnant, but they were just so afraid that they would be big when they're pregnant. Like just any weight gain, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They have a 20-pound weight gain, a 30 or 40 or 50, just the thought of having a bigger body was horrifying to them. And that's a challenge. I think being a human being is being with the changing nature of the body and being with the uncertain nature of the body. Because yeah, you get pregnant and yeah, you don't know if you're gonna have a boy or a girl. You don't know if it's going to be a healthy child. You don't know if it's going to be a successful pregnancy. You don't know how much you're going to gain. And then when you gain something, you don't know how much you're going to lose. And you don't know what your metabolism is going to be like after. If you speak to enough people, you'll hear all kinds of different stories. My point is that the body is just sort of this great place called the unknown. And I think it's our job to, as best we can, ride the wave that the body takes us on. I just got back from my uncle's funeral, a day ago, and he was in his 80s and died of essentially kidney failure. And, he was down to 80 pounds and his body was just saying goodbye. He couldn't live it in anymore. And I was just it's not my first time with death, but I just realized, my goodness, this is further proof of where we're all going. So in a weird way, it doesn't matter what you eat. It's kind of where we're going to end up. So there's a wave to ride. I'm interested for you in this thing called regrets. And I believe personally that each of us has certain deeper lessons. I like to call them soul lessons in life that are just, they just tend to be bigger lessons for us. Sometimes we have to learn the lesson of, being in relationship and the challenges that has. Sometimes we have to learn the lesson called being a mother, being a father. Sometimes we have to learn lessons around career or money or disease or, addiction, all different kinds of challenges. And my little alert light is on for you around this thing called regret and how you be with that and how you process that. It's beautiful to have dreams. That's who we are. We're human beings and we have visions for ourselves. We have a dream for ourselves. And a lot of those dreams start when we're young. And when those dreams don't unfold for us the way we want it, we have to adjust somehow.
Mm.
And a lot of times it's not easy to deal with regret. It's not easy to deal with disappointment, which is a really close cousin to regret.
Yeah.
And I think for you, disappointment might be a more interesting word to describe, I think, what you're grappling with.
Mm.
You know, I'm not 100% sure of your assessment that weight gain or having a tumor that leads to a hysterectomy, that's your body's desire to be pregnant. Maybe that's true. It could be 100% true, but what that points to is that there's a part of you that's carrying disappointment around there.
Mm. Mm.
And until we let go of our disappointments to the best of our ability, that's going to determine sort of how that disappointment lives inside of us. And usually when there's unprocessed emotion, when there's emotion that doesn't have a chance to unwind itself, it comes out as either unwanted symptom or unwanted behaviors or unwanted thinking.
Mm.
Now, unwanted symptoms could mean a tumor. It could mean weight. It could mean joint pain. It can mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Unwanted behaviors could mean I emotionally eat, or I binge eat, or I overeat, or I gamble, or I watch too much TV. Just examples. Unwanted thinking could mean I put energy into a system of thinking that actually kind of doesn't do anything for me. It's a way for me to try to order my world and order my disappointments. And what I'm thinking of for you is I'm believing that a big piece of your desire to lose weight and have a certain body, yeah, it's the part of us that wants a younger body, for sure. Absolutely, absolutely, I get it. Everybody wants that. So many people want that. It's the part of us that, yeah, I'll be happy. I'll feel better about my body when it looks the way I want it to look. I totally understand that. But there's also a place in us where we can put a lot of energy around weight, around diet, around what I should and shouldn't eat, around weighing myself. And it almost creates a little universe for us. It orders our world. Here's what I'm going to be thinking about today. Here's what I'm going to be worrying about. How I'm going to be weighing myself. Here's my goals. Because weight loss is all about goals, and I'm reaching my goals. So it's a way to measure progress. And all the while, it can be a distraction. Because you're trying to order your world around having a certain body. And in a strange way, that's a very known world. Oh, well, I just have to change my diet and then I'm going to lose weight and then I'm going to lose weight and then I'm going to be happy. Yeah. So it's a very simple formula. Tweak your diet or tweak your body somehow, tweak your metabolism, lose weight, feel better about myself. Mm-hmm. Now that makes sense. And for some people that works. I think feeling better about yourself right now has less to do with weight than you think. Mm. And I think feeling better about yourself means doing everything you can to get current with, this is my life. These were my dreams. Mm-hmm. Here's my disappointments. Here's my, gosh, I wish it would have gone this way. I wish it would have gone that way. Because when our disappointments are more front and center, they order our world. Mm-hmm. And it's harder to be in the present. So I would love to see you do some kind of, really what I think of is just some kind of ritual where you're able to go to the ocean, make a piece of art that's temporary, that represents having a second child, that represents a daughter, and talk to it, give it a lot of love, honor that beautiful dream. It's a beautiful dream. Beautiful. And get good with the fact of life that that's not going to happen for you in the way that you wished it would have been, and give it back, give it back to life, give it to the ocean.
That's a beautiful idea. Yeah. And it pulls together the, my artistic creative side, as well as the attachment to, the dream of the two children, of the daughter that I never had.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a beautiful idea.
And you can at the same time give up this dream of wishing I had gone down the artist's path.
Mhm.
We don't know what that would have been like for you. It's not an easy path. Not
No,
all, most paths are not necessarily easy, but the path of an artist is not an easy one.
it's true.
It's hard to be an artist in this world. It just is. It's hard to get represented in a gallery. It's hard to make a living. It's hard. A lot of people that succeed because of connections, because of family. The art world is not a meritocracy.
Yeah.
I know that firsthand. So all I'm saying is, we don't know how life would have gone for you had you chosen that path. You don't know.
Right. And we don't know what would have happened if I'd had that second child, It might
Exactly.
not have been a girl, it might have been, unhealthy, I might have had a miscarriage, could have, all kinds of things could have happened.
Yes. Yes. So I think dealing with those regrets and letting them go symbolically, and knowing that this is important for your soul, because otherwise you can't continue to live this life as you,
Hmm.
because you're wishing you could have been someone else, and wanting to be a different weight. I think for you is very closely connected to, I want to be somebody else. I want to be this other person that has a girl. I want to
Have
be
that
this other
alternate
person.
life,
Yes.
that parallel life that I could have had.
Yes. So we all have our preferences, and our preferences are wonderful and beautiful. Your preferences, here's the weight I prefer to be at. That preference does not define you. That preference does not stop the most important people in your life from loving you. I don't hear your husband, I don't hear you saying that your husband and your son are calling you up and saying, hey, Mardine, we're really not going to love and accept you until you lose like 10 pounds.
No,
Nobody's saying that.
definitely not.
Nobody's waiting to love and accept you until you
And
lose weight.
I'm not saying that to myself either, it's not that don't like myself. Even when I was 190 pounds, I have a very positive attitude, and I give myself a lot of space, and I give myself affirmations. I focus on gratitude for the things that I have. I'm very conscious of the power of thought,
Yeah.
and the intentions that I hold. And I really don't have a negative monkey mind telling me I'm unworthy, and I don't.
Mhm.
In fact, I think the things that brought me success in, here's another thing. I prefer not to say losing weight, but gaining lightness,
Mhm.
growing lighter,
Yes.
because of that focus on the positive, trying to look at everything in a positive way. I want to grow lighter.
I love that. So what I'm going to suggest is that in 27 years, your activities to lose weight so you can feel lighter and grow lighter haven't worked for you sustainably.
Yeah.
You're not where you want to be. And to me, you're putting a lot of faith and energy into, this is going to help me feel lighter.
Mm.
And what I'm saying, I think is going to help you feel far lighter, is embracing the disappointments and beginning to let them go.
Yeah.
The disappointments around having a daughter, the disappointment around your career and being an artist. And there might be some more disappointments. It would be good for you to maybe sit down and just write a list.
Mm.
And it's all good. Like, here's all the disappointments I have. Here's all the, I wish that I would have done it like this, or this would have happened, or this would have been different. And begin to inventory disappointments, because disappointments are heavy.
Yeah.
They make us heavy. And my spidey senses are really tingling around my belief that you're putting a lot of faith that weight loss is going to make you lighter. And it has temporarily. Like, yeah, okay, I lost this weight, I felt lighter. But that's not sustainable. It didn't sustain your lightness. And what I'm suggesting is that the belief that that's going to make me lighter needs to loosen up a bit. And the desire to let go of weight in order to be lighter, that by itself can be heavy, because, well, I'm not getting there. And then, well, it must be my metabolism. It must be this. It must be that. And you're looking to solve a problem. I think that's you're looking to solve it in the wrong place. Kind of like the old story of, a guy loses his car keys and he's looking around on the ground for it, and it's nighttime and he's looking by a light post, and somebody says, hey, what's going on? He said, well, I lost my keys. And he said, well, let me help you find it. He said, well, I didn't lose them over here, but the light is better over here.
Yeah.
So
searching in the wrong places.
Yeah. So I want you to have your preference for your body, but I'm also aware that in the scheme of things, 7 pounds, 10 pounds is nothing.
Right.
So like, really, it's nothing. Like, sure, you might go, oh, I've lost 10 pounds and I look better in a bathing suit and I'm more confident. That's true, but you can also own your body and be more confident. You just own it. You have, I will bet you have seen women who are far larger than you, and they're walking around owning their body.
Yeah.
So we invent the numbers, and you're inventing a tight number. And when we invent a tight number, my alert light goes on, because then you're trying to order your world around it. And I don't know that's where you want to put your energy. I would want to see you for now, because the 27 years of trying to lose weight hasn't worked for you sustainably. Now, we got to be careful, because this is what happens in the weight loss mind. The weight loss mind goes, I remember way back when I weighed 130 pounds. I felt great. Well, yeah, you were younger and, and everything.
Right.
Life was easier in those days. And you have a completely different body, not in weight, but in everything.
Yeah.
So, and even if you lost weight 5 years ago and you say, oh, I felt lighter, sure, every time I reach a goal that I want, I feel lighter. But when that lightness doesn't sustain itself, it means it's temporary. I feel lighter if I have, I don't know, 3 shots of tequila, but I can't do that all the time.
Yeah.
So oftentimes the lightness that we feel from a weight loss, it's temporary, it's a high, it's drug-like, and it's not necessarily sustainable. So all I'm saying to you is, I want to see you lighten up, because you say you want to be lighter. So great, let's lighten up in other ways. Take 6 months. So you've taken 27 years to try to lose weight. I'll say, great, take 6 months. That's 1/54th of that time. Take 6 months and just focus on all the other ways you can lighten up. Where am I being heavy? Where is there disappointment that pulls me down? Where is there regret that pulls me down? Those are heavies. What burdens am I carrying?
Mm,
That's why I mentioned doing this ritual, letting go. It's sometimes we just need to let go of the dream.
yeah.
So something else can be born.
Mm.
And you don't know what's going to be born. You don't.
I like the way you put that, because yes, I mean, it sort of transfers that disappointment from a daughter that I couldn't have to something else that I still could create.
Yes. And that is a great question. Like, what else wants to be born into my life?
Mhm.
What else wants to be born in me other than a girl, other than weight loss? What else wants to be born? Who do you want to be?
Yeah. Hmm. And of course, yeah, I still, have a lot of dreams that I haven't achieved. And I know that wherever I focus my energy is going to be where things manifest. And by focusing my energy on regrets and disappointments, I am preventing those possible futures from becoming true.
It's so well put. Very wise. So all you need to do is just embrace and listen to your own wisdom.
Hmm.
And don't let weight, don't give a bunch of pounds of body weight all the power
Mm,
to make you lighter.
yeah.
It doesn't have that power.
There was something that occurred to me when you were talking earlier about regret and disappointment, that the gaining weight, um, allowing my body basically to gain weight, was in some way punishing myself for
Mhm.
not having that daughter.
Yes.
I was, saying, well, if I can't have that dream, then, I don't deserve to be light and, happy in my body.
Yeah.
I'll just eat what I want and, do what I want and forget about the consequences, and I don't care how fat I get.
Such a great observation. And I want to point out that the waking part of that is the furthest thing down the line. What comes first is, I'm not going to take care of myself anymore.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's what we're saying. We're saying, I'm not going to take care of myself. This body is no longer precious to me. This life is no longer so precious to me. And if my body and my life are not precious, yeah, I would do whatever I want with it.
Right. I might as well have that cake and ice cream and, just party on and
Right. But the
pretend
weight,
that I don't care.
yes, the weight itself is not the original punishment. The original punishment is, I am abandoning myself.
Yeah.
My life is not worthy and deserving.
Hmm.
So therefore, I'm not going to take care of myself. That would almost be like if you're a child, if you're a 5-year-old, and your parent all of a sudden says to you, honey, I'm not going to take care of you.
Hmm.
Not going to dress you, not going to clothe you, not going to feed you, not going to love you. This is not going to take care of you. That would be horrible.
Yeah.
That would be horrible. But we do that to ourselves at different points in life when we encounter hardship, when we encounter traumas, or we encounter disappointments. That's oftentimes where we go. It's very human. And you have now the smarts and the wisdom and the life experience to look upon that and see, oh, yeah, I've done that. But I just want you to make sure to not make it all about the weight,
Mm-hmm.
because it's the mindset of, I'm not worthy, I'm not okay, I'm not going to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Because if I'm taking care of myself, if I'm doing things that I know are good for me, that feel good, then we have to let the chips fall where they may.
Mm-hmm.
You could eat the healthiest food in the universe and still get sick.
It's
I know
true.
people who eat the worst junk and they're really healthy.
Yeah.
So we don't know what our good, healthy habits are going to do for us at the end of the day. But at the very least, what they can do for us is give us a way of living and a way of being where we're affirming my life is valuable to me. My time is valuable. I want to be here a while. So I'm going to do all the things that help me feel good and help me feel energy and give me the best chance of being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more of what I'm interested in for you to take the conversation away from diet and weight loss, because you're trying to figure out how to use diet to lose weight.
Mm.
I would much rather you notice what makes you feel good, what makes you feel healthy based on everything you've learned and everything you've read and everything you've experienced. What feels good for me to eat?
Mm-hmm.
And what feels healthy? What gives me energy? And what's a way of eating that does that's more sustainable? That's not a weight loss diet that I
Right.
could follow for 2 weeks and then, oh no, this is too difficult, that's too tough. No, that's not going to work, because we're focused on thinking I'm going to use diet to manipulate my weight. For some people, that's an okay strategy. I'm not saying that's a bad strategy. I think for you, that strategy is completely unhelpful. It doesn't get you anywhere because it hasn't.
Well, it has gotten me pretty far, actually. And, we haven't really even talked about the sort of practical things that I've done in the last, it's probably been about the last 5 years that I've really focused on mindset, changing my mindset, changing my feelings and attitude about food and about my body, as well as changing dietary habits, that I have lost, I've grown 25 pounds lighter in the last 3 years. So, that's a comfortable, sustainable amount of weight loss that I can maintain. And, once I reach the place where I feel comfortable in my body, I don't have a problem staying there. It's
Okay.
I don't eat emotionally. I don't feel the need to, to use food as reward.
So that's all wonderful. So I'm congratulations. That's amazing that you've gotten to that place. I'm just wanting to make sure that you don't put too much religious and scientific belief in your number.
Hmm.
And then life is going to begin. When
Yeah.
I lose that 7 more pounds, then it all starts to happen. Maybe you'll get there. I don't know. But I'm just aware that when we put intense faith and belief in a specific number, like, where does that come from? Who invented that?
Right.
Where's the proof of that? And this thing called I will feel more comfortable, very subjective.
Hmm.
Very subjective.
Yeah.
You can
I can choose to be comfortable right now.
100%. 100%. That's all I'm saying. You can choose to hold your cards, keep doing all the good things you do,
Mm-hmm.
and let your body do what it does.
Yeah.
As opposed to, okay, body, I'm going to feel comfortable in you when you lose 7 more pounds. But until then, I'm not going to feel comfortable. Great.
Yeah.
Then you're not going to feel comfortable.
I really don't do that. I don't, I'm not attached to that specific number. Obviously, I would have liked to be 125 pounds, but I'm okay with 150. It's more the way that I feel inside, just the energy level really has a lot to do with it, and feeling light enough to participate, to take a walk, to join in the volleyball game, to do
So
whatever.
7 pounds, all I'm saying to you is 7 pounds makes, I'm going to just make an assertion, makes no difference there.
That's true.
In theory, 7 pounds could make no difference. There would be people, I meet them every day, who would love to be the weight that you're at right now.
Right.
And they would say, whoa, I would be celebrating and I'd be the happiest person in the world. So all I'm saying is, I just want you to notice how much power you're giving to that 7 pounds to hit your sweet spot. And that's what I'm putting into question, because you can choose to say, I'm comfortable now.
Yeah.
And 7 pounds is not, I'm going to tell you, it's highly subjective.
Yes.
I think it's a creation in our mind. You can have a preference. Now I want to, it's fine to say, I want to weigh 7 pounds less. That's different from saying, I will not be comfortable. I will not be my real me. I will not participate fully in life until I lose that 7 pounds. Wow, that's given a lot of power to 7 pounds.
Right.
That 7 pounds chooses whether you're going to be the real you or not. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking you to consider and to question of yourself, to notice you're giving 7 pounds the power to decide if you're going to be your best self or not, if you're going to live your best life or not. Live your best life, be your best self, and go about your business and eat healthy and see if the 7 pounds comes off. And if they do, great. Not only am I living my best life, I just lost some 7 pounds and got my lovely little desire.
Yeah, I think the thing that you brought to this most significant thing is the focus on regret and disappointment and letting go of things that I cannot change. You know, it's and just be comfortable where I am and focus on the things that I still can do for the rest of my life.
You got it, Mardine. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. And you know, it's not too late to be an artist.
Oh, absolutely. You got it. It's so true. It's not too late at all. And this iteration of you as an artist, it'll be completely different because you have so much experience and so much more gravitas in you than you had when you were 25 or 30. And you know, the best art comes from years of life and years of experience. So I'm excited to see what happens for you.
Thank you. I will create that temporary artwork and take it down to the beach and let the ocean wash it away.
I love it. I'll think of you in a beautiful Santa Cruz beach.
Thank you.
Mardine, thanks so much for being so willing and for sharing so openly. And you know, I just really appreciate you and everything you've accomplished on your journey and how you've, you know, just used your life to learn your lessons and better yourself. And sometimes that's all we can do, is let life be the great teacher for us. So
thank you. I really appreciate you allowing me to participate in your podcast and giving me the benefit of your insights.
Thanks, Mardine. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Take care, my friends.
Hey friends, we're so happy that you've joined us for another episode of The Psychology of Eating with Marc David. Are you loving these episodes? Then simply subscribe and you'll never miss an episode again. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a comment below so we can hear more about your own journey with food and body. And if you're curious about what we offer at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, including our internationally acclaimed coach certification training that's rooted in dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition, please head on over to our website, psychologyofeating.com. Until next time, take care, and remember, having the body you want starts with loving the body you have.